Today we're working on a 20M4U, and what we're going to do today is change out this input board here because we're having some issues. We think it's the input board, so let's change it out. We're gonna have to do a few screws here. We're talking about this screw, this screw, this screw. There's 3 on the other side as well, and then there's one here, 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 and here. Sometimes there's one hidden in here, but I don't see it on this one. So let's get it opened up. Alright, we removed all the screws, and now you just kind of gently slide this off. Gently. Ooh. Let's just set this safely on the floor. And here we go. Beautiful looking insides. That's what she said. Alright. So it's actually really easy to replace this input board. You have to undo your power supply connector here, and then you have these screws here which are connecting grounds. So we'll disconnect those, and then we'll unplug these harnesses here, and that should be it. I'll tell you if there's anything else. You also have to undo this screw here, which is holding the flyback controls onto it, so we're going to take that off also. And there you have it. This just comes right out. So one thing to be mindful of is right here and here, these kind of pressure fit into these 2 circles here. So when you're removing this, just kind of wiggle it back and forth and pull on it, and it'll just pop right out. And then we got our 2 connectors here, our harnesses that we had to gently unplug. And that's it. We got our input board out. It's a beautiful input board, and we have a spare one of these, so let's go grab that and hook it up. So I've got the new input board here. It just snaps into place. Just be mindful of your little grabber here, which grabs it. And now I'm just connecting all the grounds. I connected the power cable here, and I connected this bracket, and that's it. Oh, I also connected the 2 harness wires down here, so that's the only other thing. The only tricky part here is maybe if you might have to put 2 of these grounds on 1 screw, but you can reach in right here without messing anything up. Just be gentle, and obviously it's off, so I feel comfortable. So just gotta line those up. Just have to tighten all the screws now. Here we have RGB and sync hooked up. Before you put the back cover back on this, I just would recommend plugging something into it and make sure you're good. So I got the computer hooked up via CRT EMU driver, just making sure we're all good before I put the back cover on. Let's try out a couple games. Here's Bucky O'Hare. Looking good. Look at those scan lines. Here's another classic, Bucky O'Hare on the 20M4U. Look at those scan lines. Looking pretty insane if you ask me. It's super bright. If we turn the contrast down a little bit, look at those scan lines getting even more significant. Pretty crazy. And yet another classic, Super Mario World. Look at those bright, vibrant colors. Sorry about the bug, I got the door open. Bugs love CRTs. Look at that. That's a Sony PVM 20M4U. No consumer set's gonna look like that. That's for sure. So now we're all good. I'm just putting this case back together now. And I just wanted to show you as you're sliding this on, just one thing to watch for is you want the case that comes off to ride on top of this piece here. Once you can see that this is on top of this, it goes in a lot easier and then just slides into the front. Here, here, and here. So obviously this needs to come up, so I'll get that. There we go, you can see I'm all lined up on all sides. So I'm gonna put all the screws in. One other thing I wanted to point out is some M4Us have, I think it's called an SDI card. It's like a extra card that goes right here. And these two holes will be punched out for that SDI card's connectors. And when you're putting the back cover on, you just have to be mindful of these two like BNC connectors that are on the optional card that are in there. This one doesn't have that, but some do. And I'm not sure even why you would want that, but I don't want that, and this is fine that this doesn't have that. So I just wanted to point that out. So we tested RGB. Now that we put a new input card in this, I just want to run a quick test for composite and S-video, just make sure we're all good. Here's composite working. Looks great. I mean, it looks really fuzzy to me because I'm used to RGB, but that's composite for you. So composite is good, looks great. Let's try out S-video. Boom, S-video. Look at that, way sharper. Looking good. Sometimes the sync rate of the camera is not perfect with the monitor, and that's why we get some weird stuff happening sometimes. But it's looking good. S-video, composite, RGB. I guess we can try component. And here we go. Here's component. That's once again just the refresh rate not matching with the monitor when it's looking weird like that. In real life it looks good. Like that. That's just the refresh rate. Looking good. So once again, this is the Sony PVM 20M4U. This is an 800 TVL tube, which is pretty much one of the highest Sony 20-inch tubes you can get. It's the same tube that they call a 900 TVL that's in the BVM D20 F1U. But like I said, it's the same tube. I think the BVM might just be able to drive it a little bit sharper, but one of the best 20-inch monitors you can get. Sorry, my workspace is really messy, but she's a beaut.